All right, thanks for tuning into another episode of the Why Influence podcast. Today we have an amazing guest. His name is Nate Woodbury, and he was a guest previously on the show back when I first started it, under the first 10 episodes. He was a guest, and we deep dove into his why for why sharing. And the work he does is very interesting on how he's creating daily content for YouTube, both for himself and for other people as a service. And he's got a team and he's got the systems down for that. So he's a big YouTube guru. His brand's called Be the Hero Studios. So I'll have links to all that in the description. But first of all, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to come here and be with us, Nate.
Yeah, totally. Glad to be here, and I love sharing behind the curtains of what I do and why I do it.
Awesome. So before we jump into it, I know that you've got your own YouTube channel and your own brand talking about YouTube and outsourcing. I'm just curious if you have any stories that come to mind as far as someone that you've impacted in a way that you didn't expect. Maybe it could have been recent or something that happened earlier. But have you heard anything from people that have watched your YouTube or consumed your content and told you about the kind of impact that it's had?
Yeah, that's a good question. My own content, the Nate Woodbury channel, I've gotten a lot of traction for my videos about teaching people how to hire in the Philippines, how to outsource there. And I get a lot of comments from people that, for me, that learning to hire people in the Philippines, learning that I can hire a full-time employee for $500 a month, it just transformed my whole life, my whole business. And so some videos I've put out recently have kind of opened people's eyes to that, and they're like, wow, I can't believe I didn't realize how affordable it was or how easy it was to find somebody really skilled. So that's the most recent comment there. Because I produce so many channels, something that is it really inspires me and gives me fulfillment when I help my clients. So there's I'll just tell you, Stan, the annuity man. Okay, his niche is really, really focused. He's not all things financial. He doesn't talk about taxes. He doesn't talk about Social Security, just annuities. And yet he brings a lot of energy and fun to that niche. He's not even at 500 subscribers yet, and yet seeing what the impact that I've been able to have on him, leveraging YouTube, it's just he's got a very successful business before I came along, but now seeing the impact and how much success he's now having in his business it's really cool.
That's awesome. And that's so he's got a business that he was already doing, and then he's like, I want to add a YouTube component to it, and then that's what you've been helping him with is putting that together and getting it out.
Yeah, that's right.
Awesome. So today I want to do a little bit of a different episode where we just sort of data dump and extract from obviously you, and I'll add my 2 cents where I can as far as just we've got a lot of listeners who want to start a YouTube channel and go big with it. So I guess let's just start off with like if you met someone who is looking to start a YouTube channel, maybe like this person, and like what would be some of the biggest advice that you have for someone like just starting out on a YouTube channel?
Well, and it's a big question. Really, the advice that I would want and the conversation I would like to have to provide the most help is if they're wanting to build a big YouTube channel or be successful on YouTube, get a million subscribers. Are they wanting to make money through ad revenue, or do they have a business that they're wanting to use that as a marketing strategy? Because there's all strategies in between. So really just having clarity on what it is that they're wanting to do, and then to find somebody who is successful with that specific strategy. So I talk to a lot of parents who tell me that their kids want to play video games all day long and make millions of dollars. It's possible. It's pretty rare. The ones that we see are the ones that are succeeding with it. But the millions that are failing at it are just playing video games all day long.
Right.
but whatever the strategy is, if you find somebody who is doing what you want to do and making money or making it successful the way that you want, you just got to really do exactly what they did. And often what they're doing now is not what they did in the beginning. So you got to go back to the beginning and like dig and find, okay, how did they start? Really? They were that dorky in the beginning? Okay, I can actually start dorky.
Right.
So that's honestly, you gotta really iron out what end goal am I shooting for? If I just say I want to make $1 million, like, okay, how are you going to make money through ads? Are you going to sell widgets? Are you going to
Right.
sell a service?
And I know that a lot of the people you work with are people that already have, tend to have funnels or some kind of business model behind
Yeah.
it. But from a high level, what would be some of the common strategies that you see that YouTubers are using, as the reasons behind that? Is it, you talked about how you need to have clarity behind that. So, like, what would be the choices or the options that someone starting out should be considering?
Well, an area that I really have my expertise in is in helping other people with your expertise. So if I'm an expert on entrepreneurship or hiring people, outsourcing to the Philippines, and I can make videos that teach other people those things, everyone watching or listening has expertise. They have experiences. They have answers to people's questions. And so a great place to start that might not be the millions of views in the beginning, but the smaller number of views that you get are ultra high quality, in that right now all around the world there are people searching for you. They're asking questions that you have the answer for, and prior to you putting a video on YouTube, they don't know that you exist. They don't know how to find you. There's no way for their question to get to you, but you can do keyword research. There's tools that can help you find what questions people are commonly asking online, and you can make a video that answers their question. And so it's a great way for somebody who has expertise to really start to leverage that and say, wow, I've learned some things here. Whether it's a simple thing like one thing that I am kind of obsessed with right now, I've been spending a lot of time at home with the quarantine and taking a lot of more interest in gardening. I've decided I want to build a geothermal greenhouse. This is a greenhouse where you dig down deep in the dirt, lay some tubing back there, and so then in the winter I can circulate air down and have it warm up. Anyway, there's several YouTube channels of people who have done that. They've figured it out, or that's kind of their expertise, and they make videos showing this is what I did, this is how it worked. And so I'm getting a lot of advice from them, and I'm thinking, you know what, I might make videos about it just to share my experiences. Not that I'm an expert in it, but I'll be learning along the way, and people want to know, like, did that work? Did it not work? And so that's something that
Okay.
everyone can do because everyone has expertise.
Right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So for that example, you've got this, brand around outsourcing. If you were going to create videos about this greenhouse farming, would that be a separate YouTube channel for you? How do you perceive that, or how do you look at that?
Yeah, in the past I would have said definitely that would be a separate YouTube channel, because it depends on how you want to monetize it, and it depends on your audience. If I wanted to build a focused audience all around gardening and that type of thing, and I was going to sell products and build a business around that, you would want an own individual channel. For me, my channel has for the most part been focused on outsourcing, entrepreneurship, and leveraging YouTube to do the same thing. But I'm just finding that I enjoy making other videos, and so if people want to get to know me better, I don't anticipate, definitely not in the short term, getting a lot of views on videos like that. I've done vlogging. Vlogging is a lot of work, and sometimes it's fun, but sometimes it's just a pain. And I've just experimented with it, and some of my vlogs have done well, but mostly they haven't. It's my how-to videos actually that have gotten the most results. So for me, it's just a way for me to enjoy it, and if I do it right, you can get a lot of views, and sometimes you let the content that's successful kind of steer you on what you continue making.
I had a guess. He had a YouTube channel. He has a YouTube channel called SUV RVing, and he lives out of his SUV,
Mhm.
and he does a lot of how-to videos. And he shared something similar, just saying that people find him through the how-to videos, but then they stick around because of his vlog videos. And it sounds like you're sort of treating this like greenhouse example as a not necessarily a vlog video, but more of like your personality and interests being shared type of video. Would you say that's sort of
Yeah, yeah,
synonymous?
definitely. Because even though the reason that I actually recommend against people having multiple YouTube channels is one channel is a ton of work. and and so if you've got different ideas, it's not like you've got to squish them. But also in recent years, the YouTube algorithm will group videos according to the type of video. So if I make several different types of videos, some that are vlogs, some that are how-to YouTube, some that are gardening, um, YouTube will show the gardening videos to people that are interested in gardening, and they'll show the YouTube videos to people who are interested in learning YouTube. So you really and I can be strategic with that with playlists, but the algorithm starts to do that automatically. It automatically transcribes the content. It knows what the videos are about, and so you have a little bit more flexibility than we used to, I think.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. So, everyone has, some kind of wisdom or knowledge that someone else is looking for that they could be sharing. And there's also the interests and things that you're learning that you could be sharing your journey of learning. And that's sort of the combo of things that we're talking about here for you is that you've got this expertise with the outsourcing entrepreneurship and YouTube. But then you have the interests that you don't know much about, but you're learning and you can share
Mhm.
that journey through that. So there's a lot of different ways that people can, bring value to, sharing on YouTube.
And another angle for me is because an area of expertise that I have is YouTube or video. By me making a gardening video, I'm kind of showing this is how you film a gardening video. I can make videos on lots of different topics, and it still relates to video because it's on video. Um, and that's just kind of the out of the box type of way of thinking that how-to videos are an obvious way of helping people and answering people's questions. Something that's really trending though today is reaction videos. I just tried one. I'll probably try more where I took a whole bunch of clips from Shark Tank uh, and responded to it, from an entrepreneur perspective and the value of the sharks. And it was fun to make that. It's hard work. It takes a lot of time than just hitting record on the camera and answering a question.
Right.
But yeah, there's a lot of ways that you can provide value and teach. And so even if people find me through a gardening video, um, they can learn the ropes of YouTube and see, oh, he can film a lot of different styles of videos. So it actually, in an indirect way, will actually still bring me new clients and stuff.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So, big strategy behind YouTube is the keyword research. And I know there's, a couple popular tools out there like TubeBuddy or vidIQ. But do you mind, sharing some of your process or how you treat, like if you're going to create a video on a certain topic, like what it looks like to, create an ideal scenario from an SEO standpoint?
So TubeBuddy and vidIQ are very popular tools. I do have an account with TubeBuddy, and I use that for their thumbnail A/B testing. It's a great tool because custom thumbnails are really important on YouTube. I don't use their keyword tools. I only use one. I used to use a variety and kind of piece them all together to find what I'm looking for. Now, for the last year and a half, I've just used one tool by SEMrush. So their website is semrush.com, and it's their keyword magic tool. They have a whole suite of tools, and they are pretty sweet. I only use the one, and I'll explain. With YouTube, SEO is really simple when you have an expertise. You can type a phrase into a search bar. I'll just share one that I've got in my mind that I've shared many times.
Sure.
My friend Katie is an interior designer. So if we picked kind of an area of her expertise is living room design. So we type living room design in the bar, we hit search, and it brought up, hundreds of different questions. Actually, it brought up thousands of phrases. Then there's a button you hit that says questions, and it filters out anything that's not a question. And I just quickly combed through the list, and I found 20 different phrases like how to design a living room with a corner fireplace, how to design a living room with large windows, how to design a living room with high ceilings. I quickly found 20 unique videos that Katie could film. Another thing that I like to use in that tool is you hit filters and you can add a minimum number of words. I like to typically start at 8 and see it, how many phrases are there. So if the question is how to design a living room, that's 6 words, but without a fireplace, or with a fireplace, that's 9 words long. The more words, the better by default. The more words typically means that it's more specific. If you go for a smaller, shorter phrase, that generally means there's going to be more competition on YouTube and on Google. And so simply by using that tool and finding the real specific questions that are long, 7, 8, 9, 10 words in length, you can make a video with that title, post it to YouTube, and it will rank on the top of YouTube that same day. Even if you're only getting, a couple of views a day, it actually starts to tell the algorithm that this is a valuable video, because these people, they watch the whole thing. This is exactly what they're searching for. So you start to get more and more views, and you actually start to get leads in the short term. I've got a client that in a short amount of time, 5 months, already making multiple 5 figures from just dozens of views. So,
wow, and it's clearly coming from YouTube to accomplish that.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. So, as far as creating a video that only gets a couple of views, but they see that people are staying there, is there a certain flow? You got to catch people's attention pretty quickly to get them at least hooked to stay. And then, is there what's the strategy that you see that works for retaining people, like getting the hook in quick and retaining people?
Yeah, it's really creating curiosity. And I can demonstrate if you'd like on a great. So I'll use an example from my friend Doreen. So Doreen is a nutritionist and a natural remedies specialist, and we filmed a video how to get rid of strep throat without antibiotics. Okay, that's 9 words long. What I'll do first, I've used this remedy for years, and I know it inside and out. So that's not my expertise, but I'll pretend that it is for now. And I'll demonstrate how not to start the video, and then I'll demonstrate how to do it the right way. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds great.
All right. So here's the how not to do it. All right. As we dive into this topic of how to get rid of strep throat without antibiotics, we need to grab 3 ingredients. We want to grab fresh garlic, raw honey, cayenne pepper, mix that all together, and when you start taking that, it will wipe out your strep throat. Okay, now people have left their computer, they've gone to their kitchen, if they believe me. I mean, they don't even have any reason to trust me. Okay, so that's why it's not how not to do it. They've been with me 30 seconds and now they're gone. So here's now how to do it a better way that will get people to stick around for a 10-minute episode and will build a lot more trust. Okay, as we get started and dive into this topic of how to get rid of strep throat without antibiotics, first we're going to answer the question, why not antibiotics? And there's some good reasons why we might want to consider an alternative. Then we're going to talk about the 3 ingredients. You probably have these ingredients in your kitchen. Each one has natural antibacterial and antiviral properties with it. And so that's why this works so well. We're going to go into my kitchen. We'll show you how to make this. We'll talk about dosage. And then I'm going to wrap up with a story. My son, when he was really young, he had a high fever. He had strep throat. This remedy worked. And so you'll hear how that happened. But there's also a side effect that comes with this that's kind of funny that you'll probably experience as well and that you'll want to know about. Okay, so what I did there, I set a whole bunch of hooks, actually. Right. I set a hook of what I'm going to talk about first, then second, then third, then fourth, and fifth. And I didn't give away the secret. I created curiosity for what I was going to be sharing. And so people that hear an intro like that are more likely to say, oh, this is what I'm looking for. I'm going to get myself comfortable because I'm going to be watching a 10-minute episode here.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's a big difference between the two. And the first one makes sense. You lose the person right away because they got what they needed. I've seen tons of how-to videos that have, tens or hundreds of thousands or millions of views, but then you look at the channel, it's got no subscribers, and it's probably because they haven't treated the hook in there. So maybe going along with that, um, when you have a how-to video and you're trying to drive some traffic to people to like stick with you, maybe check out more of your videos. What would be some strategy you use to help them stick around?
Well, just understanding the goal. The goal is I've got the secret or this answer to this question that I can share. But when we realize the opportunity that we have on YouTube to look right into the lens and make eye contact with people, and that they're going to spend with us 10 minutes, we can build a relationship there. And so when we talk about influence, that's where influence happens, is when you build a relationship. And so we're giving away our secrets for free. We're not charging for them to watch these YouTube videos. And I don't hold back any secrets. I don't say, all right, in this video, I'm going to share 5 of my 10 secrets. If you want the other 5, you got to pay for them. I don't do that. I share all 10 of my secrets. Russell Brunson, that's been his strategy that he preaches. And it's what people expect nowadays. The old tactics don't work. And so really just having that attitude of I'm here to give. I'm really giving you the best advice, the best help that I know how. And then, of course, you have a call to action at the end. Hey, if you found value here, I've got a course that you might be interested in. You can go and check it out.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. All right. So we talked about, retainment strategies for helping people stick around and for you to create longer form content, and how to create a relationship with them so you can try to help them stick around. Another thing that comes up a lot in YouTube is the quantity and frequency of videos, because I've seen people that swear by certain strategies, and different strategies can work for different people. What's your opinion on that? Because I know that you're a pretty avid person for doing daily content on YouTube. But does it stop at daily? Is more always better? What do you think about that?
So YouTube is always evolving and always changing. So the strategy that I've used for years and still use is we post at least 5 episodes a week, but that's following a very specific formula of these how-to videos. And when we follow that formula, we do get a resulting spike. It's interesting that the strategy focuses on search traffic, but when you do it a certain way, you actually also get suggested traffic. There are other strategies where you can post 1 episode per week and start to get suggested traffic. When you balance it out, the amount of time it takes to create 1 episode a week like that and create 5 episodes a week like my previous strategy, it can actually be more work to do the 1 episode per week than the 5, the efficient way that I do it. Either way, it takes a lot of work. Going back to finding a strategy or finding a person that's achieved a certain level of success on YouTube, that's a good way to do it, because you'll find examples of both. I mean, there's a channel I was just looking at yesterday. He posts between 3 and 5 episodes every single day, and he's getting tons of suggested traffic. And so that piqued my mind. Like, how is he doing that? And so that's a channel we're actually studying, of course. And that's what I recommend that you do the same for, is find a channel. If like, okay, this person is getting millions of views, only posting 1 episode a week. How is he doing it? Right? Or this person, they're making $1 million a month, like one of my clients is. We actually are changing to 3, but we've been posting 5 episodes per week. How are we doing it? So.
Yeah, I think that's really important to study what everyone else is doing, and you're finding that you can accomplish getting suggested videos with as little as 1 per week, and then less of that is probably pushing it.
See, here's the what's the catch, right? What's the catch? There's a lot of work that goes into to get suggested traffic. What that means is YouTube, the algorithm, is starting to suggest your content, or I'll use another word, it's starting to promote your content. YouTube finds good performing content that gets lots of likes, that gets shares, that gets lots of comments, that gets a high average view duration, that the thumbnail and the title together have a high click-through rate. So YouTube paints a picture of a video and says, okay, this video performs well for this type of viewer, so we're going to promote it to more of these type of viewers. So yes, you can get away with posting one video a week if you create a video that performs well to an audience, and that there's more audience for that for YouTube to promote it too. So the work is less, like you're making less videos, but you've got to do more work to do the research and to have the real strategy and create videos that you can't just set up your phone on a tripod, hit record, and not have any strategy. I mean, you've really got to plan out what it is, how you're going to deliver, what's going to keep people to the end. And so
Right. That makes a lot of
and
sense.
not to discourage anyone, and you got to start somewhere. So start where you're at. Don't think that you have to have the perfect strategy to begin. But if you want to get millions of views and think, okay, I can just start right now with one episode a week, it might take you many, many, many years.
Right. All right. And so when someone's starting out, let's say they want to treat it a little more seriously, we talked about some SEO strategies, maybe using the SEM Rush tool that you had mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Do you suggest starting with that prior to creating content? Like you sort of do research on your subject of expertise or what you want to talk about, find a bunch of titles that you want to use, and then create content around those titles? Or what's your approach around that?
Yeah. So I teach a 4-ingredient formula that anyone can use, and that you don't have to be, you can be new. You can be a newbie on YouTube. And one is that keyword research strategy I call my leaf strategy. And I went into a little bit of detail here with the couple examples I shared. But I've covered it many times on my own YouTube channel. It's my leaf strategy. So that's ingredient number 1. You do keyword research to find those really specific questions. Ingredient number 2, you want your episodes to be 10 minutes in length. Ingredient number 3, you want an average view duration of 45% or higher. And then ingredient number 4, you post 5 episodes per week. And if you follow those 4 ingredients for 4 months, you'll get a spike. One other thing that's important, and I don't include it in the ingredients, and I mentioned it earlier, is you do want to have a custom thumbnail design. That's the still image that YouTube will display to entice people to click on your video. You want to design a custom graphic that's more compelling, that creates more curiosity. You could either call that the 5th ingredient. The reason that I don't is you can actually launch a video and change your thumbnail later if you want. Like I always start with a good thumbnail, but if I find that it actually doesn't have as good as a click-through rate as I want, I can design another one and change it, and it won't slow down the video. So really anyone that has expertise can start doing that. And the example I shared with the how to get rid of strep throat without antibiotics, you use strategies like that to keep people engaged, to keep people watching all the way to the end. And so it's if you follow those 4 ingredients and you're just strategic, you're mindful of what can I do to make my content better, you really deliver value, then yeah, you'll get suggested traffic at the 4-month mark. I
like that, and that's something that you've seen, use with your clients, and you've seen work is just that 4 rule where you're, creating 10-minute long videos, you're getting 45% or higher, view rate with 4 episodes per week for 4 months, and after that you see some kind of spike.
Yeah, and I've got screenshots showing the analytics of many channels that we've done this on. Get to that one channel, it was right on the 4-month mark to the day. Another channel is about 5 days early. Another channel is about 5 days late. Let's see, John's channel, he kind of had, he already had an existing channel, but from when we launched the 5 episodes a week with this strategy, kind of had a mini spike about 2.5 months in, and then another one at that 4-month mark. Recently, I've had 2 other clients that have gotten to that point. One was actually at 5 months, and and his channel is not come down from that spike. So it took a little bit longer for that to happen. Usually a spike happens and you settle back down at a higher average than you were before. Well, this channel just hasn't settled down. It took off at the 5-month mark. Anyway, so yeah, lots of different examples. And while the algorithm is changing and whatnot, one thing that hasn't changed for me since I learned this strategy in 7 years is that if you really create content that people are searching for, then the algorithm, any changes that are made in the algorithm will be in your favor, right? You're not using a tactic that finds a loophole or is going after a trend that fades away. You're going after a strategy that people want, and the algorithm wants to give people content that they're searching for. So this strategy is long term. I mean, I have videos that I posted 5 years ago that are still getting tens of thousands of views every month. So it works.
Awesome. Yeah, I like that. That's a pretty cool strategy. And so if someone were to, just theoretically, let's say someone did 2 videos a week with this strategy, do you think that it would take twice as long? It's sort of consistent with that kind of mentality?
Like when you say twice as long, it's like to get a result, right? So it depends on what result. Yeah. Oh, to see a spike. I never had a spike until I went 5 episodes a week with my strategy. Okay, with this ingredient formula, it does require that ingredient. But I'll share that that's okay. If you don't get a spike, you're still going to get growth. With a channel, it's my biggest one. It's called Chris Krohn, with a K, KRISKROHN. That channel's got over 500,000 subscribers. We actually went 2.5 years posting 1 episode a week. We had gradual growth. We had some videos that kind of started to take off, but we never had like any exponential growth until 2.5 years in. We went to 5 episodes a week, and that channel, to the day, the 4-month mark, we had a very significant spike. I don't exactly remember what it was at before. Let's just say we were averaging 1,000 views a day. It was something like that. Our spike, we went up to 10,500 views a day. A few weeks later, we had a day as high as 35,000 views in a single day. Sorry, I'm talking about spikes again with 5 episodes.
This is good.
But that's, I guess the point
it's reiterating the importance of frequency is how I'm hearing.
But the point I wanted to make with that is we went 2.5 years just doing 1 episode a week, and our channel did grow. And you certainly can be profitable. Like, okay, if somebody, let's say you're an interior designer, and somebody goes to Google or YouTube and they type in how to design a living room with a corner fireplace, they find your video and you offer them a solution or whatnot, like that's your exact audience. They have a corner fireplace. You have the solution just for them. All right, so you're getting customers right in front of you to see you, to like you, and trust you. And so you don't have to have a spike to be profitable if you've got a business or something. The spikes are critical if your only way of making money is through the advertising revenue. You know, you've got to have millions of views to be able to make thousands of dollars. But without the spikes, you can make tens of thousands of dollars. And one of my clients I'm thinking of right now is experiencing this. He's getting dozens of views. So it's really small. He's getting dozens of views and $10,000 of dollars. So like the spikes are totally cool, but yet if you're posting 1 episode a week, you still get gradual growth.
Makes sense. Awesome. So as far as like, creating more content, you said sometimes it can be less effort to create 4 or 5 pieces of content than 1. So what does like a efficient workflow look like as far as like, you want to create? Yeah, I know that we talked last time and you talked about how you rent to Airbnb and you immersively record like, 3 or 4 weeks of content. But what do you suggest for maybe someone that is doing it themselves, or maybe they have a friend or something helping them out? Like, what's a good approach to, creating some efficient content to put out there?
Yeah, I've got a script here that I'll grab, and I'll give you a comparison. So this, let's see, I'll just see if I have 2. Yeah, this one. This is my most complex video here. It's a video called 5 Mistakes I Made While Hiring People in the Philippines. I filmed it in multiple different locations. Some of it's on my DSLR camera, some of it's with my GoPro Max. And I really scripted it out. I planned out a whole bunch of different things, and it took me 3 hours to film. That's the inefficient way of doing it. That's you can't do that in the beginning. And like, here's the result if you do that in the beginning. Oftentimes you put so much work into an episode, you post it to YouTube, and it's amazing, but nobody sees it. Nobody sees
Right.
it. So that example, I'm doing it now but I didn't do that for the first several years. What I do now is, if I take a topic like how to get rid of strep throat without antibiotics, I write down on a piece of paper 5 or 6 bullet points. What am I going to talk about first? What am I going to talk about second, third, fourth, fifth? And when I'm filming, I don't have that whole list memorized. It's a simple list, but I don't need to memorize it. I look at the camera. First, I look at bullet point number 1. Oh yeah, I'm going to talk about why not antibiotics. So then I look at the camera and I give that answer, and I talk for a minute. This is stuff that I know. It's my expertise, so I can talk for a minute about why not antibiotics. And then I look down. Oh yeah, then I'm going to talk about garlic. All right, come back up. Then I talk to the camera about fresh garlic. So that's the best way to prepare, and it makes for valuable content, because you're sharing your expertise and you're thinking, okay, to really answer this question, what do people really want to know? And you can, when I film 20 episodes in a day, like we've talked about before, and with this approach, not the script I just shared with you a moment ago,
Right.
but with the leaf strategy approach, the 4-ingredient formula, it'll take me 2 or 3 hours, and I've actually gotten a little bit quicker than that. So maybe I'll say 1 to 2 hours to just outline all 20 episodes, and then when I film and record, I can easily talk for 10 to 12 minutes on each of those topics, because I've created all those talking points. And so in a 9 to 5 filming day, I filmed 20 episodes. And, that if I'm posting 5 a week, that does last me 4 weeks.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So, if you don't mind, let's talk a little bit more about with that. Do you do the outline the same day as the recording? Like, you'll sit in the morning, do the outline for the 20 episodes, then switch over to recording? And
the outlining actually takes a lot of brain power. I'm just talking about me personally. And so I have to do it on a different day, because then when filming 20 episodes, that's just a physical marathon. If I've prepared my content ahead of time, then the filming day isn't like mentally exhausting, but it's just physically exhausting to sit there and talk for that many episodes.
right.
My clients, they tend to procrastinate. They tend to like be working on it into the late hours the night before and even the morning of, and that does make it for not only a physical marathon, but they mental exhaustion. They learn. I mean, we'll do that once, and they're like, "Yeah, I totally procrastinated. I can't do that next month." So, long story short, you do want to, prepare your content. Set aside a few hours, but do it a few days in advance.
Okay, that makes sense. And so when you're recording, let's say you've got your 20 episodes planned out. You're recording one of your episodes. It's like 10 to 12 minutes of talking. If you mess up, maybe you re-say and
Totally.
start from scratch. So like, how much time are you spending, or do you find that your clients are spending on an average 10 to 12 minute clip to talk through that?
Yeah. So if the finished video will end up being, say, 12 minutes, then it's common that your recording time is going to be 15 to 20 minutes, because you'll have pauses. I encourage pauses. Some clients, I have to say, you are required to pause, so you only focus on one point at a time. And like you said, if you make a mistake, yeah, you say something weird, just, I'm going to say the sentence again, and then say the sentence again, and just let the magic of easy, cut and paste editing to make it really clean. So that's
Awesome.
the great advantage we have with videos. We can edit out all of our mistakes.
Right. Yeah, unlike these live videos that we're doing right like this. So let's talk a little bit about scheduling, because you've got 20 episodes that you create. Now you've got a month of content. What's it look like to get that out there? Because you probably have the title and then maybe your bullet points that you'll talk about. You'll probably have to convert that to some kind of copy that you put in the description, and then put all the keywords that you can come up with in there. Or do you have the keywords premeditated? What does that sort of look like as far as getting each video posted with some scheduled?
You bring up a good point, because I talk about, you do a day of filming and then you're done for the rest of the month. Well, the reality is, behind the scenes, you've got the time to edit, and then you've got the custom thumbnail that I said that's important, and then you've got to upload it to YouTube and set up everything correctly there. I say that I only have to film 1 day per month, because I hire people in the Philippines to do all the other steps for me. And that's what I recommend other people do. So does it cost? Yeah. You can hire an editor for about $450 per month, full time. And if it's just for your channel, 8 hours a day, that they'll be able to do a really, really good job for you. In the beginning, you want to learn how to edit your videos yourself first, so that then when you hire a skilled editor, you can train him on your style, and you'll have enough experience to know what you like and what you don't like. So in the beginning, you're definitely going to be putting in more time than just the preparing your content and filming, because you're going to do everything. I highly recommend you do everything first before you hire somebody, because if you hire somebody that they may have had years and years of YouTube experience and thumbnail experience, but they're not going to do it the right way for your channel. I've just never seen it work. I've seen it fail over and over and over with other people. For me, it's worked. I've been hiring people. I've got 14 full-time employees, simply because I figure it out. I perfect my style and my system, and then I hire somebody and I train them how to do it my way, and it really, really works. People are skilled in the Philippines. They're smart, but that's just a smart way of doing business that I've learned.
Okay. So let's say you're starting out and you're doing everything yourself, so you can get the feel and the vibe that you want. And you do this recording day, and you mercifully get your 20 video clips. What does it look like to go from that point to having those scheduled on your channel when you're first starting out and figuring that out?
Well, if I took you behind the scenes, I use a project management tool called Kanban tool. Trello is a Kanban tool, but there's actually one that's called kanbantool.com. I've got step by step like 50 different steps roughly. I don't know the exact number. I just know it's a lot. And so it goes from okay, we've uploaded all the footage to Dropbox. Okay, the video, the audio clips, everything is there on Dropbox, and it's now synced to the cloud, so my team can access it. My team will do a rough edit, and then they'll go through, and there's another column that they'll do their fine cut. And then there's different levels for quality control, for reviews. There's steps for different clients who need text effects added. There's a whole YouTube team that will design the thumbnail and do the transcription and add in the description, and they'll add in cards and links. And then the last step is, once everything is ready, everything we've done previously has now been in private mode, so these videos are not visible to the public. But then there's a tool right within YouTube that you can schedule it, and you pick the specific date and time. So if I film a whole bunch in one day and then I just start editing, and let's say I can edit 4 episodes every single day, I'm going to have a big stockpile of episodes. You don't want to launch them all at once, but you can schedule them to go out. Every channel is going to perform differently. A channel called Live on Purpose TV, that channel definitely performs better on weekdays than on the weekends. We knew this because we saw the stats, but we didn't understand why. We even experimented. We launched a video. We took a video from Wednesday and posted it on the weekend instead to see, will we get a dip on Wednesday? But no, we still had a good performing Wednesday, and Saturday was lower like it normally is. Then when the pandemic hit and schools were canceled, we saw that we didn't have, like, every day was the same. And so, and this was a parenting channel. So we were like, okay, when kids are at school, moms are watching more YouTube videos about parenting, but on the weekends they can't because they're parenting all day long. That's
Right.
our assumption. We still don't know that for sure, but I kind of lost my train of thought of why I went into that example. But anyway, hopefully that helps.
Yeah, it does. All right. So I'm curious, you know, what do you have that's, premeditated, I guess. So like when you create a video, you have the title, and then you got the talking points. Is that all you have? And then on the back end, you're coming up with all the keywords that you're putting into YouTube. You're writing the
So
description
the
in long
keywords are
form.
actually done in advance, and instead of thinking of a keyword as one word or 2 words or 3 word phrases, think of the keywords as that long title. And when you pick a title like that that's 9 words long, for example, you've done all the keyword research. And so you could actually leave the keyword tag field blank. If you put something there, YouTube only pays attention to it right in the beginning, because YouTube will actually transcribe your video automatically, and it knows what your video is about by your content. And it will then ignore all your keywords anyway. It pays attention to your title, and so by putting that in there, your keyword research is done, and it's done well, and it has to be done before you film.
That's pretty big because that I mean, I know for me when I create YouTube videos, I spend quite a bit of time filling in that box trying to maximize what's in
And
there. But
that's the strength of vidIQ and TubeBuddy, is they have great tools that will make that easier and easier for you. But the reality is it's not that important anymore. Like
okay,
there's other strategies for tags that are actually more beneficial. If you want to create a series of videos on your channel that are all related and similar, then you can put those exact same tags on all of them, so that you tell the algorithm, okay, all these videos are connected, they're all related. And so, I mean, you can communicate things to the YouTube algorithm that way, but there's a guy out there that is really well known for website SEO. He's one of the leading gurus, and he does have some traction on YouTube. But when you look at, I mean, with TubeBuddy, you can look behind the scenes on other people's videos, and you can see what keywords he put in his keyword tag field, and you see he's not ranking for any of them.
okay,
And so it's kind of interesting that the SEO guys aren't ranking. It just doesn't work that way anymore.
okay. So the biggest thing is the title by far. Then from there, it's going to be what you say in the video because that gets transcribed, and then
Exactly.
it's going to be the description, and then after that, maybe the keyword section as far as priority
Yeah.
goes. In your opinion?
Yeah, and YouTube's even come out and said, yeah, we don't really pay attention to the keyword tags anymore.
Okay, awesome. All right, so I guess what would be some, we've talked about a lot of the strategies behind starting a YouTube channel and creating content regularly. Do you feel like is there anything else that we're missing here for getting someone
And
started?
I think we've covered a lot. I feel real passionate to share just some thoughts about outsourcing to the Philippines, if I may.
Yeah, of course.
So I was just talking with my assistant yesterday through WhatsApp and asking him how the pandemic is going for him. They've been in lockdown for 2 months. Like, he's in Manila. That's the most densely populated city on the planet. I've looked up the numbers. It's crazy. I don't understand it because they're not as high up as like New York City is. But anyway, lockdown for 2 months where they are not allowed to leave their house. And I asked him, like, well, what do you do? I mean, I know, but he was telling me that we're going to have a lockdown. I need to go to the supermarket and really stock up. But that was planning on a 2-week lockdown, and now it's been 2 months. He says that they give one person per household a pass, a quarantine pass that allows them to go out. And he says, yeah, I'm the family sacrifice. I'm the one that gets to go out. Okay, so I bring that up because I was also asking him about the economy. The Philippines is a developing nation, right? I mean, parts of it are so rural and so third world that that, you know, and such poverty. But then you go to other areas and there's a Lamborghini store and a Ferrari store and just beautiful landscaping. And it's a developing country. And now they have just been hit so hard and everything's shut down. It's like the last 20 years of economic growth has just been poof, it's been gone. And yet my 14 employees haven't been affected at all. The amount that I pay them seems like a little amount. You know, my team makes ranging between $400 a month up to $1,000 a month based on experience. I have some guys that have been with me many, many years. We'll just say $500 a month. Like when you look at their profile and you see, this is my skill set, I can edit videos, I know how to use Adobe Premiere, I know how to use Final Cut Pro, this is my portfolio, I'm hoping to make $500 a month. You understand that that's really, that's what's going to be a blessing to them. And now to think that they get to work from their home, the comfort of their homes, and it's really a service to them. So I'm promoting it as, it's such a smart business decision. I don't make any money for telling you about this.
Right.
Except for I am an affiliate of online jobs. My affiliate link, I'm going to share it. It's virtualassistanttool.com. And it's and I can make $40, right? It's such a smart business move for you to leverage your time. To think you hire one person and you're paying $500 a month, and now you've got an additional 8 hours in your day, and it's such a service to them. That's influence. I didn't realize how much of an impact I had on their lives until I went for the first time in 2018. We met for dinner. At the time, I had 10 employees, and 5 were on this side of me, 5 were on this side of me. We're in a restaurant, and they were all looking at me with like admiration and respect, like gratitude, and I just like, wow, I provide their livelihood. Right. And I just realized the influence that I had in their lives. And that was after 8 years of hiring people in the Philippines, and or not 9 years. It's incredible for your business, and it's incredible for them.
Awesome. Well, first of all, I just want to say thanks again for coming on here and sharing so much advice and wisdom. And I know last time we talked, we dove a little bit deeper into your whole origin story and your why, and we talked more about outsourcing in that episode. So I'll make sure to link to that one in the description.
Awesome.
As far as like people that are out there thinking about doing YouTube or going bigger with their voice, or maybe posting one episode intermittently here and there, do you have any last words for encouraging or for those people to go bigger?
Well, sure. I'll address one concern that people might have, because YouTube's been around for a long time now, and you'll hear stats of how many, hundreds of thousands of minutes are uploaded every day or every hour or whatever. And you see all these people that are successful, and you think, man, I must have missed my time. I must have missed the wave. The truth is, the opportunity is actually better today, but you do have to be more strategic. What the wave that has passed that I even missed. I missed the wave of just being able to post any video and getting millions of views. You miss that with any platform, but YouTube's different in that they didn't just build something that's like trending and viral. They created a partner program, and they really created an economy. Anyway, the quick point that I want to make is you could be brand new beginning right now and do really, really well on YouTube. In fact, I know one of the biggest YouTubers on YouTube. He sees the opportunity. He's starting a second YouTube channel in a complete different space just because of what great opportunity there is.
Awesome. So it's not, if you hear that, it's not too late for YouTube. Awesome. Well, what's the best way for someone to get in touch with you? I'll make sure to have the links to all your social medias and your websites.
The best place is my YouTube channel, natewoodbury.com. I have a free course that I give away, and I'll have to send you the link because I can't. What is it? It's / I can't remember.
Send me the link, and
I'll send you the link. But then my website, BeTheHeroStudios.com.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you coming on here for a second time. It's pretty cool to have you back on here. And I know that your journey is evolving on a regular basis. So it's just interesting to hear how some of it's evolved, and then just doing a deep dive into just pretty much YouTube and today's episode. So I just appreciate you coming on and sharing so much value and so much wisdom with myself and to all the listeners here.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to do it.
Awesome. Well, make sure that you go check out Nate's material, shoot him a message, let him know that you got some value from what he shared here today, and then go engage on his content. Because if you're trying to do YouTube or trying to do outsourcing, then Nate's got a ton of really valuable content, and I've watched a lot of it, and he doesn't hold back. So he really shares some of the secret sauce, and it's great value.
All right. Thanks so much.